I like going hunting, just me, my hound, and my gun. Chasing them deer, rabbit, and squirrel, now that's my kind of fun. I like going fishing too, I'll go on any whim, looking for the big bass, the crappie, and the brim. Give me a wide open field to walk through. Give me an ocean so deep. I want to ride the longest river in the world, or maybe climb the highest mountain peak.
Folks, we're over on beautiful Logan Martin Lake. That's kind of east of Birmingham, about an hour's drive, and it's part of the Coosa chain. And some of the finest fishing is Logan Martin here, and Neely Henry up above it, and Lay and Mitchell right on down. Some of the finest fishing waters there are anywhere in the state of Alabama. And we're over at Clear Creek Marina. We put in there at the harbor store there, and I got Mr. Willard Isbell, and the folks around here will tell you that Willard's probably one of as good a crappie fishermen as he is on this lake. He won a lot of crappie tournaments, and he really studies the fish. He knows where they're at and how to get at them, and we picked a real lovely day today, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and letting Willard's got a lot of little techniques that if you'll kind of watch him and listen to him like I'm going to be doing, it'll increase your fishing productivity and your fun on these great lakes here in Alabama. Willard, which way are we going to go today, and what's your plans for us?
Well, we're going to go right out here to the harbor, which is behind me, go right out and go up in Clear Creek. This is just the landing right here, and we got to go out in the river to get up in the creek. And we're going to go up there and try to catch one where I won that tournament over there about a couple of weeks ago.
Okay, now you took some pretty big crappies out here, hadn't you?
Well, so far about 2.5.
2.5. But you get lots of them, though, don't you?
Well, when they're there, you do.
All right, let's crank it up and go see what we can do.
All right. That's the little head we want you to try right there.
All right. Now tell me about this little head right here, Willard.
Well, it's just it's real small there, and what it's for is we want it to get down in them limbs where you can just kind of jig it up and down in there.
Uh-huh.
And if you hang as small as the head is, so you can pull it loose a lot of times. If it had a heavier head, it just hang right up. Sometimes you can get that one loose.
I see. In other words, this little burr back here is to hold your
grub
little grub on it. All right, we're going to just use a regular curly tail grub.
Yeah, we're going to use one that start out with this, this is a transparent green.
Okay.
I always take that thing and get back there to the second little knob on it.
Okay.
Just pinch that off and throw it in the water.
All right.
Kind of smooth it up if you can.
All right. All right. Show me how you're going to thread it on there.
You always want this little curly tail up,
Okay.
Just thread that right there all the way back till you get to that last little ridge in the grub.
Just bring it on through.
Yeah, and then just push it up there all the way to the head.
Uh-huh.
See, that makes a little fat-looking little minnow there.
Yeah, that's a good-looking thing like that. And that's the way you do your grub. Now, what about you use some jigs too, don't you?
Oh yeah, we got plenty of jigs.
All right, that's why we're sitting still. Which jig would we be at to use today?
Well, I think one, we'll start off one that's got a red head on it with white skirts.
Okay. All right, now why are we going to do that?
Well, it's the time of year that they'll go for that red right now.
In other words, that head has a lot to do with biting, don't it?
Well, when you pull him up, he looks like he got a strawberry in his mouth.
There you go. Now, Willard, you have probably done as much experimenting with colors on jig heads. A lot of people don't seem to think it makes any difference, but you couldn't prove it by you, could you?
Well, I'll tell you what, for my part of the fishing. The colors is all of it.
Is that right? All right, give me a little rundown. You say we want red heads today, right?
Well, we're gonna start with that.
Start with reds.
Yeah,
What's your normal pattern? To start with red this time of year?
well, right this particular time, yes.
Okay. And then what will we go to?
Well, I like to try black and white, yellow and black, and might even go to some purple.
I noticed you had some purple. Let's do this before we get going here. I'd like to let the folks see exactly how it is. This your main box right here?
Well, this one right under it there.
All right, let me get in here. I'm gonna get a little light on this and let you show them how neat you package your little jigs up there. All right. Now Willard does a whole lot better job of keeping his stuff straight than I do. Now show them how you do that now, Willard.
That little red head with a white skirt on it, that's the one I was talking about right there.
Now tell them why you got them in these little containers like that.
Well, it preserves them. If I make more than what I need, these is good for next year or whatever.
And they don't get all messed up, do they?
Now this is a polyethylene bag, and you roll it up just like a cigarette paper and just put it in there and staple each end of it. See how stiff it is?
And it keeps them hairs laying right too,
Keeps them straight in there, and it's just preserving something.
And then there's your red-headed one, and here's one of your yellow ones.
That's a chartreuse.
Chartreuse and white, right?
Right.
And so you've got your system laid out here in your box, and you just when something ain't happening like you want it to, you just go to
I just go to the box.
Go and just move around till you find a winning combination, right?
Right.
Does it ever hold consistent for a while, or is it erratic, depending on the weather and all?
Well, you know, like most of the time, your basic colors is yellow and white. But when you can't get them to hit yellow and white, then you can try some of these colors and they'll work.
I see. Okay, well, let's do it to them.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 21, Dangerous Hunting. Boar hunting takes you on a wild boar hunt in South Alabama where the hunter becomes the prey. Alligator hunting takes you to the swamps of Louisiana for a strange but exciting alligator hunt. And Rattlesnake takes you deep in South Alabama for an educational afternoon full of fangs and rattles. So ask for Dangerous Hunting at your local video store.
Now, Willard, I've been with you before fishing, and you got 17-pound test on there, isn't that right?
It's 14, really.
14. Well,
Yeah.
one time you had 17.
Yeah, that's
when I
when we was
got there in the cold weather. And I want you to explain to folks how you can take a little old tiny jig like that on a casting reel now. Show him your stroke, because he can throw that thing with a casting reel better than I can with 4-pound
We got
test.
the wind against us now.
All right, well, tell them how you do it now so they can watch your style.
Well, you're not really throwing a jig. You drop that thing down there about a couple feet there like that.
Sort of like a fly rod, right?
Yeah. And really what you try and do is throw the line more so than throw the jig.
Okay. Now show them how you do that.
All right.
In other words, you just come way on back and just lob the whole thing.
That's what I say. You just throwing the line. If you try to throw the jig, you won't get it out of the boat.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, I've sat in the boat here with you and using light line and open face reel, and you throw that thing 20 foot further than I can possibly reach with that open face reel.
Did you lock your anchor in?
Yeah, I did now.
All right.
I went right over. That's all right.
That's all right. That doesn't matter because
you going in there to 45 is what you're saying.
yeah, I'm trying to come off that ledge there at an angle. And I was talking and missed that one.
Did you? So you had a hit then?
Yeah.
Now Willard.
See how that hair is all wadded up there?
Uh-huh. Now, coming back and retrieving, what kind of retrieve do you bring back on these crappies?
Well, I just kind of jig it along a little bit, you know, and just kind of jig it and let it fall, jig it and let it fall.
Okay, I want to watch that stroke now. All right, talk to me now.
All right, now what I'm doing, I'm letting it get to the bottom right now.
Okay.
And just as soon as it hits the bottom, like that, I just pick it up and jig it a little bit. Just kind of, you know, just more or less wave at, that was the limb there. Uh-oh.
Huh?
That's another hit. Let me give it jig just a little bit of a haircut.
All right, now explain to him what you do with that now.
Well, this long tail is making him hit it. I'm gonna have to cut this tail off just a little bit to catch him.
I see. In other words, that entices him.
Yeah.
But somewhere between enticing him and get him up to the hook is what you want, right?
Yeah. See, now I took about 1/4 of an inch off that thing. Made it a little bit more blunt.
Uh-huh.
Let's see what happens this time.
All right.
That's 2 hits right straight in a row there now. Got a little bit of overrun there. Okay.
Now you're watching your line now, aren't you, Willard?
Yeah, I'm letting it settle in there. I didn't put it back in the same spot, or either I scared him out of there.
Uh-huh. Now, Willard, I noticed you use grubs and jigs. When do you use one and when do you use the other?
Well, I use that grub, you know, just more or less to find the fish. And then I use that jig to settle in on them in, you know, just you catch more with a jig than you can with a grub, the way I fish.
Uh-huh. Now, how do you find them with a grub?
Well, I just normally go down the bank with a trolling motor.
Uh-huh.
Just throwing it in at the bank and around brush and, you
Let
know,
it kind of troll it around a little bit?
Yeah. And once I ever catch one on it, then I'll just back off out there and tie my jig on.
I see. So you use them in combination?
Yeah. That little curly tail. There he is.
Yeah, he'd been making a monkey out of himself for a minute there, wasn't he? There they come. There they come. Yeah. That little haircut deal you put on him, he just had to reach up and grab it, didn't he, Willard?
When I put that haircut on there, that shortened his dinner up.
I believe that's a bass. Hold on.
Don't let him get around the anchor rope now.
He's heading that way. Oh, he's heading that way. No,
That's crappie.
just a nice crappie.
That's the kind we're looking for.
Yeah. That's a beauty right there. Look at that thing right there. Now, Willard, that's that special magic you put on there for me.
Yeah, I give
buddy,
that
that's
little
fine one there.
bumblebee.
That's that little light. How much you say out there that weight of that little old jig is, Willard?
It's probably about a 32nd.
Now, let me tell you what happened on that one. You know, that same old limb that's been hanging me and hanging me and hanging, and I got him loose, and like you said, I let it drop over, and I just kindly just was finessing it. Right on out here, I was on the bottom, coming to the boat. He picked it up almost straight under the boat. So
You just teased him right into it.
teased him right in there. Well, that's pretty good doings there. I'm gonna put him in this magic live well you got up here.
Man, his stomach swelled out there like he got a hamburger in it.
Yeah. Now, Willard, what temperature you think these fish bite at the best?
Well, really, when they really get wide open, you know, like everybody likes to catch them, is I'd say between 62 and 65 degrees.
All right. Now, are you checking that temperature on that locator there? What's
Well,
it look
it's 58 degrees.
58. So it's still got a little ways to go, hadn't it?
Yeah, I believe that's got a lot to do with the fish being as scattered as much as they are.
Uh-huh.
You know, we just catch 2 or 3 here and 2 or 3 there.
Uh-huh.
And if when that temperature comes up, puts those fish on the bank, then, you know, all the good fishermen get out here and catch them.
Yep, I got you. In other words, about 62 is ideal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I'd say 62, you could probably be catching, where we catching 4 or 5 fish here, you could probably be catching 25.
Uh-huh. They just more active, ain't they?
Yeah, it just, their water gets them ready to go in there and spawn. When they get ready to go in there and spawn, they eating everything up in their way.
They just got to have a lot to eat, because I wonder if they eat while they're spawning. or do they shut it off?
Well, I don't know about the female, but you catch a lot of those males in 1 foot of water up there. Just as soon as the jig hits the water, he'll grab it.
When they're on the bank?
Yeah.
And that'd be at 62 temperature?
Yeah, I'd say between 62 and 65, somewhere in that area.
Uh-huh.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 19, Cooking from the Wild. Deer Butchering shows how to butcher deer into steaks, hamburger, and even sausage, while Outdoorsman's Feast is a cooking show of many different game and wild plants to prepare an extravagant feast with all the trimmings. So ask for Outdoors with Archie Phillips, Cooking from the Wild, at your local video store or nearby sporting goods dealer.
He finally jumped on that thing.
You knew he was in there, didn't you, Willie?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Huh?
He's scrapper, too.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew he'd be in there. Did you get him off that limb you just got hung
Look at that
on?
strawberry in his mouth there, would you?
Did you get him off that limb you got hung on a while ago?
That one I just broke that line on. I told you he was there. All I had to do is just fool him.
You got him that little Malibu white, didn't you?
Yep. That little strawberry head there.
Uh-huh.
See how he tore that thing up?
Uh-huh.
I just hung that thing, and then that next time I scratched it over, and there he was.
Well, you know, was you right off the edge of that
Yeah.
ledge?
Yep.
You know, our anchor just slipped. We just slid back out here.
Yeah. You see that little old strawberry sticking out of his mouth,
Yeah. Oh,
don't
you use a little white Malibu, ain't you?
Yep.
All right, I may have to get in here with you.
Yeah, I scratched that little old limb there, and it was just right.
Uh-huh. If you just barely touch them limbs, that'll do it, won't it?
He can't stand it.
Now, let me ask you this about crappie fishing. Now, it's getting toward the middle of the day. Do they slow down any time during the day, or are they better early and late?
Well, this middle of the day, this is really the hard time to catch them.
Is it? Is that generally always true?
Well, I'd say from 6 o'clock in the morning to about 10:30 or 11, they do real well.
Uh-huh.
And from 11 until 2 o'clock, that's your slowest part of the day.
In other words, you're just going to peck around and pick up one here and there, right?
Yeah, you're not going to catch a bunch of them anywhere right now, you know,
Uh-huh.
right in the middle of the day.
Uh-huh. Willard, you done slipped in there and got another before I even got my line tied.
Yeah, I got on that little old limb
Is
again.
that same place?
Yep. You see that strawberry sticking out of his mouth, don't you?
Give me one of them. I ain't hard to convince, Willard.
You put that strawberry in front of him, he can't stand that.
You told me that when it got tough, that's a good lure to use, didn't you?
Yeah, when the going gets tough, tough gets going.
That's right.
Let me see if I got another
See if
one
you
of these
got
head
another.
in here.
Just
exactly like it, huh?
I mean exactly like it.
I'm gonna have to go back to the box on that then.
All right, well, I found your limb out there with my curly tail.
Let me see if I can find you one of these little killer jigs.
Okay.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 18, Louisiana Duck Hunting. Louisiana is gifted with the world's best flyaway and a cast of characters that provide that southern flavor. Our guests have harvested many ducks and they bring their techniques home to you. You learn how to set decoys and a calling lesson you'll never forget. So ask for Louisiana Duck Hunting at your favorite video store or nearby sporting goods dealer.
I got, looks like about 6 in my box. Boy, them gonna be good eating too. How many you got in your box back there?
It looks like I got right about 12.
About 12?
Yeah.
You didn't whip me but 2 to 1.
Well,
That ain't as bad as it was last time.
No, I think you did extra good.
Well, you got several nice ones out of that last hole.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna make a good mess of fish right there though, Will.
You have something to eat right there. Look at that black, how pretty he is after he got in that water.
Yes, sir.
Look how black he turned.
Now you got nice black ones and white ones in there. A lot of people ain't never seen them close together. Can you reach in there and let them see them side by side so they get an idea?
All
Will?
right, let me.
See if you can kind of hold them up side by side.
All right. How about that?
Now you can see the difference real good there, see. And it ain't necessarily that one is darker than the other, it's just the way the lines are running. The black's running vertically and the white's running horizontal. Well, them's pretty things, I'm telling you now.
That makes some fine eating.
Yeah. Whoop. Well, we been that food around long, your boss will liable to run you off, will he?
Yeah, I gotta get to work.
Okay, well, let's go do it. Folks, I'm gonna get the anchor rope and we're gonna leave this beautiful Lake Logan Martin here for a while, and crappie fishing is generally good over here year-round. They got good launching places like we showed you coming in, and it's just a fine crappie lake and bass lake. We hadn't got any bass going right now, but we just want to show some of the good crappie fishing. And let the good Lord bless you, and y'all stay with us again next week for some more Outdoors with Archie Phillips.
I like going hunting, just me, my hound, and my gun. Chasing them deer, rabbit, and squirrel, now that's my kind of fun. I like going fishing too, I'll go on any whim. Looking for the big bass, the crappie, and the brim. Give me a wide open field to walk through. Give me an ocean so deep. I wanna ride the longest river in the world, or maybe climb the highest mountain peak.
Nolan, I got my rain gear on. I hope we don't get, well, these boys laughing at us. Bubba
promised me it wasn't going to rain today.
That's what he promised me too, but I tell you, it rained a while ago.
Him and Mike Royer's got something going on, I believe.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Well, I've got all my rain gear ready. And what we're gonna do out there, Nolan is so optimistic about today. We went up there and got us some charcoal and some stuff here and out of the store. Y'all got plenty of all kind of stuff around here, haven't you, Bubba, to do with. And we're so optimistic that we're going to take all this in the boat to cook the fish on the bank. Ain't that what we're gonna do, Nolan?
Right.
What I'm laughing about right there.
What, carrying that charcoal without no fish? Huh? So.
You a Boy Scout, Archie.
So anyway, we're gonna go out there on this beautiful lake down here. If anybody hadn't ever come fish the lake, they missed the treat, ain't they?
They sure are.
And
right here at Okemo Marina.
Right here at Okemo, we got we're gonna crappie fish, but we're not gonna turn down no bass if they happen to bite our nose.
That's right.
I mean,
Anything
since
gets
I
on
got
that
the
hook.
charcoal, I'm planning on us We're gonna have a special treat for him just a little while. I ain't gonna even tell him what Nolan's gonna do up on that riverbank right now, but we're gonna put all these good groceries in there and we're gonna have at it.
Well, y'all tell us where you're gonna cook them at noon, and we'll get another boat and come up and have lunch with you.
That's a secret place, Nolan. He ain't even told me where we're gonna be. So we might just come get all of it. If we catch so many, we may just get the whole community to come up in here.
Some smoke signals. Yeah,
Smoke signals. All right, well, let's get in this boat and get it done. Hope we don't get all wet up. Lonnie Pennington from McCullough. Lonnie, you had a bad morning so far.
I had a bad morning this morning.
Tell us what all happened to you, Lonnie.
I got down here, I was going to stay in my cousin's trailer, and I forgot to go get the key. I had to sleep in my truck all night. I got up this morning, got ready to go, and didn't put the plug in my boat. Got it launched and everything, went up, parked my truck, and come back, and it was sitting just about on bottom. Tried to pull it out and got it up under the pier. Got it out, got that all taken care of, got it back in there, and the motor wouldn't start. Now, I just bought the boat yesterday, was trying to give it a shot this morning, and can't get it to do nothing, so I'm just going to troll around here in the marina, see if I can't pick up a fish or two.
Well, now, Lonnie, it'll all be worthwhile if you catch you about a 10-pound spotted bass,
Wait,
won't it?
it'd be worth the while if I just caught one. Just give me a fish, is all I'm asking
Well,
for.
what you might do, you might help some of these other fishermen. Tell them always put the plug in, right?
If you want to do a show on what not to do, you should have followed me around this morning, that's for sure. That's for sure.
Have a good day, Lonnie.
I hope y'all get them.
Okay. All right, Nola, what are we doing here now?
We're looking for the old train track that run up in Sulphur Branch here.
Look at there. I bet you that's it, ain't it?
Yeah, that's right on top of it. And it runs out here, and there was a trestle there. A lot of the old pilings are still there.
Is these all fish?
Those are all fish in there. I, don't know what kind they are, but they're fish.
Well, you can see
Okay,
that
we're right
thing
back
good.
up on top of the trestle now. See, it's 8 foot, 9 foot.
Yep.
What we want to do is go to where it drops off,
Okay,
and we'll put out a marker buoy there.
I see.
Now we're at 10 foot. I've got off of it just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try to cut back across and get on it. Okay, I'm coming back up on it, see? 8 foot. That should be just about on top of it right there in the drop off. That's the drop off. So I'm going to put a marker buoy out right there. Okay. You should see a lot of fish right in here. See them?
Look at them things. There's a whole sack full of them there, Nola.
Watch this. You'll see some of the old pilings underneath there.
Boy, that really shows up good, don't it? Look at that right there.
Okay, we're coming back up on the other side now, see?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got us 2 marker buoys out there. And the 2 marker buoys right on the edge of the track where it dropped off, or where the bridge was where it drops off. Okay, I'm gonna ease back through there and let you get a little bit better view of those pilings in there. And of course, there are a few old limbs and Christmas trees and stuff like that various fishermen
What
have
is that
put in
right
there.
there? Is that a Christmas tree?
That could be a Christmas tree. It's really hard to say. It just
Boy,
draw
it really
that.
shows up good, doesn't it?
Okay, we ought to be coming back on them right here. It'll draw every detail of a tree if you run down the length of it. If you just cross over a cross section of it, you only get a.
What's there in that cross section?
Right. Let's try it. See what we do.
What we're going to use now?
Okay, we're gonna fish with the only thing I ever crappie fish with. That's a little chartreuse curly tail grub made by Sims Bait Company. It's got a little metal flake in it.
All right, now let's talk about what size
And
and everything now.
We've got about a 1/16 ounce head on it, I guess, and an eagle claw, about a size 2 hook. That's a jig hook.
All right, now what's going to be your hand motion now?
Okay, it depends on the depth that they're hitting. We'll just have to try and find out. If you cast out and let it go down, and I count 1,001, 1,002, till I get to maybe 5, and it's 5 foot deep. It falls about that fast.
Okay.
If I hang up or I don't catch a fish, I'll go to another count. And when I hit on the right combination, whatever it is, it might be I might have to let it go down 18 foot. Whatever that is, I stay with it. If I'm hanging up every time, I'll shorten it. And I just have to adjust to whatever the fish will hit.
Okay. Now your hand motion on it's going to be what now, Nolan? Is it going to be just a slow
Just
retrieve?
a slow,
Are you going to make
Slow,
it walk a little?
methodical wind. Any motion that you put into it is liable to jerk it right away from a crappie. A crappie's not a real aggressive fish. They'll hit, but they won't chase something. So if you don't present it to them in a slow manner where you can zero in, home in on it, you're liable to miss him if you're pumping your rod in
Is
this
that the
motion.
mistake a lot of people make?
Yeah, the last time
crappie
that you and I fished, you were doing that a lot. You were pumping your rod.
Yeah, but you didn't wait. You didn't tell me at the beginning of the shift. You waited, you caught all them dead gum fish and skunked me, and then
Well,
you told me what I was doing.
The thing of it is, you wouldn't have listened to me that first time.
I probably wouldn't, but you made a believer out of me, I'll tell you that. Well, I'm going to get me some of these little old squealers here and go at it.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette.
Like Volume 17,
Turkey Calling with
the champion,
Preston Pittman, one of the nation's best turkey callers,
takes you to
his favorite hunting area,
in Monticello, Mississippi,
Preston shares with you how to predict turkey habits and territories
and how to call turkeys.
from the beginner to the most professional.
Preston also teaches you
His midday
hunting techniques.
So ask for Outdoors with Archie Phillips Turkey Hunting
with a champion.
at your local video store.
There he is.
All right, come on.
Yeah, it's crappie.
Okay. Well, you got it zeroed in to where they at.
Yeah.
Right up there.
It's a wild, but a good crappie. Oh, yeah.
Oh, that is a fine one, Nolan. That's a fine crappie.
Well, he's lean, ain't he?
I guarantee he's mean.
Oh, that's beauty there, Noah.
Oh, that's beauty. That is a
We'll
fine.
take a few of them then.
Oh, yeah, that's some good doings right there.
Let me turn this boat around.
I got to hit right when you come up with that.
I know
too.
the boat's getting away from me.
They in about a 3-foot low, ain't they?
Yeah.
I got something coming here. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Pretty good, whatever
You got
it
a
is.
drum.
You think I got a drum?
Mm-hmm.
Pulling like a drum, isn't it? Yep. Well, what do you think? No, it ain't. Look at that. That's fine crappie there, Nolan. Goodness gracious. Now, we plan on eating some of these things shortly, ain't we?
Yeah.
We'll up there on all right. Don't let him turn over on me now. Boy, that's a fine one, too. Now, there's some big old crappies on that tree. It was hard to find, isn't it? Yeah. That is a tough little spot you got out there.
That's that look there. You'd never find it by sight, would you?
Well, maybe up here. Try another place. We'll be catching them faster than this.
All right. Now, they're hitting kind of slow and low, though, ain't they?
Yeah, they are.
Boy, he hit so hard he bent my hook. Look at that, Nolan.
Mm-hmm. See there? That's pretty good sized crappie, do that.
Oh, big crappie.
Yeah, there you go.
Right in there.
Yeah, that's good doings.
Boy, that's what they get it for. Look at that. Look at that how they're coming along.
There's a lot of brush right in here, Nolan.
Yeah, quite a bit of it. Just kind of out there.
Hear them old crows over there chasing that hawk.
Yeah.
They haven't given it fit for 30 minutes, have they?
There he is.
There he is, Nolan.
He's pulling.
Maybe one of them old big ones.
You said you took a
3-pounder out of this hole, didn't you?
Yeah, me and Jim Hardy was down here.
That's pretty good crappie right there, Nolan.
Jim weighed him and said he liked an ounce or two, weighing 3 pounds.
Goodness gracious alive.
But they are big.
Is that fat around the belly? Turn
No,
sideways.
he's not as fat.
No, that other one, that
Little
little
bitty one was fat too, wasn't it?
Well, that's black crappie too.
Yep, sure is.
There's a fine tree top out there. I know what it is.
I only got in it about twice.
That stir them up when you go through that mess up like I just did.
I mind it, yeah. Kind of mess him up.
You know, Ray Lake is a beautiful lake up
Up here, Nolan, and a lot of folks don't realize
what good fishing we're about, let's see.
about less than an hour from Birmingham, Alabama, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's a big lake. I don't know how many acres.
Acres in it, but it's a big old lake, and
Of course, I guess, you know, it gets real warm, but
skiers will get in here and make it where you
You know, got to kind of find your little hole to get in,
But it's a big lake. It belongs to everybody. We ain't got nothing to grab about it.
Well, I think that this crappie here is big as the ones on the ranch out there.
Well,
I've
I do
talked to
too
several
now. But,
people. It's fish rice,
yeah,
reefs, however you say it.
yeah.
And our fish are as bigger than theirs. I may not be getting the numbers that they do on reefs, but I'm sure getting some big ones.
I know one thing. Last month there was some nice ones
come
coming
out here. And folks, I'm talking through that. Now, a lot of people don't fish regular on through the, you know, the winter and coming around in the spring, but if they'll fish right on, just slow down and get in these tree tops, they can catch nice fish on
Yeah,
that.
they sure can.
They tell me there's more and more people fishing for crappie now than there are bass anyway.
I don't doubt it.
Because
People have learned.
they just like to come out here and have a good time. And just like what me and you doing out here on these crappie, ain't nothing wrong with this. This is fine doing.
They're kind of small out here.
It's all right, they're in there. Bring that devil right on in there.
If you do that today, I'm going to get hungry here in a minute, Archie.
Yeah, now, you told me
You was gonna have a treat.
and what kind of treat you got in store here?
Well, you've heard of blackened redfish.
Yeah.
We're going to blacken some crappie.
Do it right over here on the riverbank?
Yeah, if the rain don't, rain us out, hopefully.
Well, that'd suit me fine, because
Going fishing with you, it's a delight when you say we're gonna at least eat lunch. Most time, unless your mama tends to us good.
Yeah, and she was going to put something in. I said, nah, I'm going to cook this time.
I tell you what, she saved my hide a many a time, because I know when you get
Serious about this crappie or bass fishing, you forget about dinner with Nolan Shivers, I can tell you that. Now, he'll keep a coffee pot and he may give you a cup of coffee,
but that's about all it's going to be.
Well, does your mama know that you know how to cook these things, Nolan?
Oh, yes, yes.
Now, it's blackening kind of fish. You got to be careful. You don't need to do that inside the house, do you?
No, it'll smoke your house up pretty bad if you do that.
It'll set off the fire alarm, won't it?
Yeah, the real the bad part of it is the fact that it's got a lot of red pepper and stuff like that in the seasoning.
Uh-huh.
And it actually burn your eyes.
Oh, no.
And
So it's best to do it outside,
it's best to do it outside. I recommend outside.
Outdoors with Archie
Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 16, Catfish. Jug fishing teaches you the art of catching catfish,
with quart jugs, while Jump Box
shows a fast and easy way to set a trout line.
box fishing shows how to use slat boxes, and
Grabbing catfish shows the technique
of catching catfish out of submerged logs. So ask for
for catfish.
at your local video store or nearby sporting goods dealer.
What do you say we get the buoy in and
All right.
go over here on the bank somewhere and pull us a few rocks? See if we can't clean one of these fish and eat them.
All right, won't you pass them
Fishes out to me.
and we'll,
Okay.
We'll start filleting. I got a good little spot right here. Get this stuff.
What you filleting?
Huh?
What you filleting?
just drop him and drop his tail?
Yeah, you let me do it. I know what you want to do. You don't want to.
Scale him at all.
Uh-uh.
You don't just
Ain't
cut
no
him?
point. No point in scaling.
All right, go down the
Sorry, go
back.
back.
Right down the backbone.
You ought to turn the top pin towards you. That way you don't care if you waste the meat on the stomach. You ain't gonna eat it.
I understand
But
what
you
you're
want to
saying.
keep your
Well,
knife
keep his
next
backbones,
to
what
right,
you're talking about.
where all the good meat is.
There you go. Here it comes now. Right on down.
Remember to stand right on that back.
And you gonna flop him over. Is that what
Yeah.
you want to do? Then come on back down this way, right?
Okay.
There's no point in scaling them.
No. All right. Now you get me
Give me that pan, that plate there.
and I'll just pass this right on to you.
Well, you're gonna have to cut the rib cage out.
You got the rib cage out?
Yes.
In other words, you want to be show enough elitist, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
We'll just come
Right
right
off that rib cage. Just like that.
Mm-hmm.
and
There's a pretty fillet. And that's
what you want right there?
Yep.
All right. And knowing if we'd only caught 2 or 3 of these now, what I'd have done was just scale these things, see?
And we'd ate everything. Fins,
Case meat out from under the belly.
the whole bit, see?
But,
I like a filleted fish. I don't like bones in it.
well, see, you're spoiled, though.
So you go down here and you catch all these big old nice 2 up to 3 pound crappies like you did this last week.
And you can kind of,
Be a little bit choosy when you got all that much shown up good meat in there.
But
Regular folks that might come down here and only catch 25 or 30,
they might want to just,
clean the whole thing, see?
That's true.
So we don't
tell you know,
there's several ways to do it. This is just the way we're doing it so we can
get us some dinner going here right quick.
We'll just slice this butter
Yeah,
up. We're just going to put that on top of the skillet. That's what we're going to do?
Yeah, let it warm up.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and set it on the skillet.
Okay.
Let it be getting warm.
Now tell me what this other stuff you're going to use now.
How you going to do that? Okay, this is, I've got it
In a container other than what it come in, but it's a Cajun recipe. You can find it in most of your stores, and it's called blackened redfish. It's made by Paula Prudhomme, and it's got a lot of red pepper and stuff like that mixed in with it. I don't know really what all's in it, but
That's
a lot
what
of
makes
people,
it good though, ain't it?
right? A lot of people mix up their own.
Uh-huh.
You can read the ingredients and make your own. You buy everything that's in it from the store and mix your own up. But we're going to dip the fillets in this melted butter.
Right.
And sprinkle this blackened redfish on them. Okay, you got your knife ready now. Turn over and all
All right,
that.
I got the knife ready.
Okay. Here goes the first one. Put it down in the butter. Shake it off a little bit. Put it here. And then put this stuff on it pretty heavily, like so.
Boy, now you
put it on there heavy.
Yeah, turn it over.
All right.
Sprinkle on the other side.
All right.
And put it on the skillet. After about 2.5 minutes, I'm gonna say it's not as hot as the one at home. About 2.5 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. Turn it over. You do that, and I'll do this part here.
Okay. Don't you dump my butter over now.
I'll do my best not to. You saved some up there, didn't you?
Yeah, I saved us a little bit.
You talk about something good.
And you put plenty of that stuff on there, don't
Yeah.
you? All right, just lay them right in there. Butter, that part there is hot. Look at that. Look at that thing draw up, Nolan.
Yeah, see it.
Do you want to turn it over? You want to wait about a minute?
Wait just another minute. Get you a couple of plates where you'll be able to put the finished product in there where you...
All right. How about it, Nolan?
How about taking those up, and I'll be putting some more in over here.
They're blackened there and all over there, and that's about right.
Yeah.
Now, as far as being cooked, they've been cooked, haven't they?
Oh, yeah, they've been cooked for a long time.
In other words, this just gives them that extra little...
It's just, like I said, there's a combination of this ground being wet and damp.
Yeah.
Is delaying the process.
Boy, that smells good.
It is good, I assure you.
I guarantee you it smells good.
It's so simple. You don't have to bring much with you, just...
Where do you get that brightening stuff at any store?
Most any store had it. I got that at Food Junk.
Yeah. So in other words, it ain't nothing that they can't buy.
Oh, no.
Any of the big stores, right?
He's well known for his Cajun seasoning recipes.
Yeah. This is pretty good here. And I mean, it don't stick at all, Nolan, when you do it like that. You can pick every bit of it up. Look at right there.
Reckon I can go ahead and get all these on there?
I believe you can.
That's going to be more than me and you need, I believe.
Well, we'll just try. We can always try something, you know.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette. Like Volume 15, The Lost Art of Jigger Pole Fishing. Jigger pole fishing was a popular fishing technique of many old-timers, and Randy Howell has brought this extremely productive method to new heights. This video explains all the equipment needed and how to use it for an exploding topwater show. Each and every strike is seen as the fish actually takes the bait. So ask for Volume 15, The Lost Art of Jigger Pole Fishing, at your local video store.
Good thing we caught some crappies, ain't it? It'd have been a shame to brought this stuff down here in that jug and just split it. I else not had no crappies, no.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
Let's see what we fillet. That's 8. 4 pretty good sized crappies. Depending on how hungry you are.
That's going to be all we need.
I know it is. I expect I'm going to pass on the ketchup. You know, I just can't think of a finer way to finish up an afternoon fishing trip. And of course, Logan, you know, you're about one of the best fishing buddies. I enjoy going with you every time. You know your stuff, you know the fish. That's the main thing. You know where they're going to be and when they're going to be. And you always are real helpful in sharing your knowledge with all our viewers. And I want you to know I for one appreciate it. And I know you put a lot of people on the water there and sent them home with fish that otherwise wouldn't have caught them by explaining your techniques and methods of fishing on this beautiful lake. And
Well, I enjoy doing that.
well, I know you do, and you're the kind of fellow that just makes a good fishing buddy. And I guess time we get those 8 up and clean up our mess and all, we'll be about ready to wrap this up, won't we?
It's been a good one.
Been a good one, sir. Y'all folks stay tuned again for some more Outdoors with Archie Phillips.
I like going hunting, just me, my hound, and my gun. Just one deer, rabbit squirrel, now that's my kind of fun. I like going fishing too, I go on any whim, looking for the big bass, the crappie, and the brim. Give me a wide open field to walk through. Give me an ocean so deep. I want to ride the longest river in the world, or maybe climb the highest mountain peak.
Well, Arch, this is Prescott Creek or Davis's Lake.
Davis's Lake, huh? Well, let me tell them who you are first.
Okay.
This here's Sam Maynard from over around. Where are you from there, Sam?
At Adamsville.
Adamsville. And if there's anybody living knows about Prescott Creek, I believe you do, don't you, Sam?
Yeah. Well, they call me Sam Crappie Maynard.
Sam Crappie Maynard.
Sam Crappie Maynard. We're going to catch him today.
All right, now, where this is the landing right here, and the main river is right on down there, and the Houghton's is on down below here, right?
This is, Little River hits this head on. You take a bend and go about 300 yards, and then you're in the big river.
Okay. Now, but they're coming in from the other side of the river to get in here, aren't they?
They're coming in from the other side, true.
Okay. Now, Sam, if you would, give us a little bit of the story about this creek here. Why do you like Prescott Creek?
Well, on this side, you got all weeds, which I've got a lot of hidden brush. Then on that bank is 20 foot deep over there. And most of the time, it'll get in them trees.
I see.
But we'll go over there and hit that high wall first.
Well, this is apparently one of your favorite places to crappie fish.
It's the best.
It's the best, man. No, it's handy. Where are we? 15 minutes from your house?
Well, about 25.
25 from your house. All right, if you would, how do we get in here now, Sam?
Well, when you come down Flat Top Road out of Graysville.
That's on 78.
On 78, and then turn on Flat Top Road in Graysville, and then it's marked all the way, Bluff Creek Road.
Bluff Creek Road. That brings you on in there. All right, well, now what we're going to be fishing with, and explain to us how we're going to do it.
I'm going to start off with a little over 32nd. A grub head with a green. And what I do, I make...
Now, I'll slow this down. Let everybody... You've got a special trick right here. I want everybody to see now.
What I do, I make this myself.
All right, wait a minute. Let's lay it here flat where they can see that.
All right.
Lay it right there, like that, right there. That's a little 30-second jig head, right?
So what I do, I bend it to about 45. Then you make it weeds just like your
All right,
bass
now
fish.
let me show. You put a
Little bend on it, backwards.
you bend it backwards.
Uh-huh.
And then back up a little, right?
Just a hair, yeah.
Just a hair. All
All right,
right,
then
now
you
show them
take-
how to put that on there.
Take your grub this way.
Go
run
real
it up-
slow now.
All right, run it up about a quarter.
Quarter of an inch
Yeah, and then run it all
Turn
the
it
way
out. Yeah, run all the way up.
on the head.
and then hook it right in the center, but bring it through where it very
Come through.
All right, in other words, hold a minute now. You're getting too fast now, Sam. You're getting nervous here.
All right.
Now this way, where you're normally losing a lot of grubs, he's weedless, ain't he?
He's weedless.
Well, that's a neat trick. I ain't never seen that done.
The secret to this, you want to hit every limb. Instead of reeling it across it,
You want to
you
bang
hit-
them on there.
hit a limb, let it drop.
Hit a limb, let it drop. Well, that is a good way to get down in there. And if y'all didn't know, now there again, a 30-second, bend it down at a 45,
45.
and then turn it back just a fuzz. Isn't
Just
that right?
a fuzz, uh-huh. See,
And
that's the only way you can fish these weeds.
in other words, then that way you can put it in there where they are.
Right. Put it right in on them.
All right, well, we're going to crank it on off here, and we're going to fish the weed bed first.
Oh, let's try the high wall first.
High wall first. Okay, we'll do it. All right, so we're starting off right here on the deeper bluff part, right?
Uh-huh. This tree here has been about here 2 months.
Is the one you just put in?
One I cut in, yeah.
I got you. All right, now what we gonna drop down to on this one?
Let her go down about 4 foot. Ease out with her.
Ease out with it. Okay. How long does it take them to get around these attracting trees?
Most time about Warrior, about
a month. About a month.
the Alabama River, it takes about a week.
Well, now, do you sink a lot of trees?
I think that's the only way I fish.
In other words, you put your own cover out there, don't
Make
you?
my own art.
Well, you know, I was with some fellas over at Logan Martin and all, and you got such bare banks over there. If a fella don't start making his own cover, he's just gonna have to take what's left after about 20 people done fished that same treetop.
You get one every morning. You get the first one, and then after that, it's all over with.
So in other words, of course, that's good for fish too to go out here and sink these tops. Now, I know a buddy of mine down at Lake Martin. He uses there you go, right out of the top of there.
I told you, Archie called me
he's
Crappie
right-
Maynard.
Crappie Maynard, look at there, right on it. Well, you got it right where you said you
All right, look at your jig.
Boy, he swooped that one down, didn't he?
Had to go 2 pounds.
Sam.
Well,
Now you listen. Now you know you got a taxidermist in here in the boat. You know how I invented these bodies that they're by sizes. And we looked at that fish before we even got going and tell about what body he ought to
no
fit
side turn the boat where you can't hit them.
on. Yeah, I noticed that. But now these attractors, this is an interesting phenomenon. What's the most you figure you ever took out of one top in one day?
One top, 356.
350 and one top.
One top.
Goodness gracious. Well, what's your favorite kind of top, Sam?
Oak.
Oak.
And a
Big
heck-
oaks or little oaks?
About as long as this boat.
What about that tree right there now? What would that be? Is
That's
that
your-
about the right size?
That's your right size.
Okay.
After today, I'm gonna drag this one out and hide it.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's too handy, ain't it?
Two-handed.
Everybody, well, I tell you,
Yeah.
Sam, y'all crappie fishermen didn't catch on to this till later, but down yonder, after all the coral reefs got fished pretty heavy on the Gulf, now where you used to could go out there and just catch tons and tons of fish, and fellas got smart down there and they started putting those old car bodies out there, and they'd lash tires together, you know, put all that down there. So those that got to doing that would catch fish when nobody else would. And finally, everybody figured out if you're going to be able to catch any snappers on the Gulf, you're going to have to get off your rear end and make a few of your own spots.
You've got to work.
And so if you do that, you'll always have productive fishing then.
I try to arch sink them in July because most people skiing, not fishing.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh, missed him, Arch.
Right at the end there.
See me panic?
I seen you panic. Yeah, 'cause along as July it doesn't. But now you catch crappie year round, don't you?
Yeah, well, July and August is the best on Miller Field.
On Miller's Foot.
Sure.
Well, we have to get together with you down there and go down there and try some down there.
Okay. I'm gonna blindfold you on a couple of them.
Well, that'll be all right. Listen, I ain't proud.
All right.
Just catch fish. That's all we got to do.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette. like Volume 14, Survival in Wild Edibles. J.T. Dabbs, a wild edible expert, shows you how to find these plants in the wild and how to properly prepare them into a tasty feast. Archie also shows how to build primitive fires with fire by friction. For an educational tour through Mother Nature, ask for Outdoors with Archie Phillips, Survival in Wild Edibles at your local video store.
There he comes.
That's a nice one, Art.
That's a good one right there. Yeah.
I can go 2 pounds.
Hold on. Boy, that's a fighter. Look at that devil go.
That's pretty good one.
The jig can't even see your jig, Art. That's a nice one.
That'd go,
Look
if
how
I
fast.
had to guess without my scales here, 1.25 pounds.
Pound.
All right.
Not under a pound, but not over a pound.
Yeah.
Look how fat he
But
is.
that's fine crappie though.
That's beautiful.
Now that's a white one there. You know, you tell me you was getting these black ones in shallow water.
We're gonna hit it next.
All right.
That's a nice one, Art.
But you know, I ain't got but one of these jigs right here. I ain't got but one.
I'll steal it.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about, if I can't go in there and just stick it in every tree that comes by there. I'll be out of luck, you know that?
But you're a skin diver, ain't you?
Yeah, if it gets that bad, you know, I'm prone to do stuff silly like that. Where's your box at?
Right here.
Boy, he guffed that right down, didn't he?
That's a good one.
Now, of course, some folks say if that hair ain't laying just right, or Willard Isbell, now if I was fishing with him, he'd look that thing over, he'd say, Archie, you make sure that hair clears that hook right.
Art,
Or you ain't gonna catch it.
that's the ugliest jig I ever seen.
Ain't that an ugly thing? I hope them fish think it's so ugly they won't just run up and smack it, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, now you just made a cast now. What's your system?
I let it go down to about the count of 4.
Okay.
And then I ease back with it. Feel
Okay.
a little brush. Hold your rod at a 45. See, a lot of people point that rod right at them.
Uh-huh.
Hold it up and then twitch it.
Like that.
And then reel.
Uh-huh.
See, your rod's for fishing, your reel's for reeling slack.
That's always fun.
But that's what I do every time.
Let her back down,
Let her
twitch it a
back.
little bit, take up your slack.
Right.
I got you.
See, most people, I know you've seen them, they'll point that rod right
Got
at
a fish, yeah.
hold that thing up.
That's the quickest way to lose
So
it.
you can watch your line flinch. If he's in there, your line will flinch. Like
Uh-huh.
it ain't windy right now. That line will either shoot sideways or it'll get slack.
You know it's a fish.
Boy, I tell you, on a day like today without no wind, it sure is
It's
lovely. isn't it?
perfect.
Absolutely perfect.
I hate to crappie fish with a jig when the dead good wind's blowing about 10 miles an hour. It just
Yeah.
blows slack in your line. You
Keep
can't
that-
tell when you get a bite.
You keep that big loop. Now, like that, I stove in yonder.
Uh-huh.
I say, I know I'm not going to get hung. I'll let it go all the way down because it's about 4 foot over there.
Uh-huh.
Then I'll ease out with him.
Uh-huh.
If that old black one's in there, he'll nail it.
Well, now, we was talking about them black ones staying closer to the bank.
He will.
And as it warms up, they get right on up there on the bank, don't they?
Down here, you can go, sometimes you can see them if you stand up.
Uh-huh.
They'll wad up and you can actually see them.
Hey, that's a good one.
That'll go 4 pounds.
Oh, at least 4 pounds, at least. Hey, that's fine fish there. Look at that thing go.
Come up there, boy.
Oh, look at that one. That's a good one, Sam.
He's a white one, though.
Yes, he is. That's a good crappie right there. I guarantee you that's a good one.
That's nice. I like this 100 like that when you.
Well, you know the way you get 100 crappie? You get 'em one at a time. If I ever get through getting my line untangled, I'm going to join you.
That's my problem, arching the tournament. I'll try to catch 100 the first throw.
Well, you know, you get out here, and once you ever get a tangle in one of these things, then you're done for. I might be a pull this one out, I don't know. My daddy used to sit and he'd get a tangle in that waterproof line, and I'd say, Daddy, here's $1, go buy you some more now. You know, Sam, I go off to other states sometime and I hear people talking about, well, they got good deer hunting, and I just kind of smile, because I know we got the best deers there are in the whole world.
Uh-huh.
Then they tell me how many turkeys they got. I know we got more turkeys than all of them's got. And now they may have as many rabbits or something like that, but you know, we eat up with rabbits and squirrels too. So it's just a paradise. It's just an absolute paradise. And there's some other pretty good places, but they ain't nothing for an outdoor person like state of Alabama now. And if a fella don't think it, he just ain't been to the right places or been with the right folks.
Yeah. Like I told you, Arch, I'm originally from West Virginia, and it's coal mining community. But I got a tangle
Now, only amateurs do that.
Amateurs, but people in Alabama should, they don't know what they got, really. Most people take it for granted.
Well, this is one of them, and I'm going to tell you right now.
Well, me either.
Man, I know what we got. And you take right there, if you live in downtown Birmingham, you can go an hour's drive, and you ain't even got to go that far to get here. You go an hour's drive in about any direction, and more fishing you can do in a lifetime.
That's all you can do.
I'm talking about the biggest city in Alabama. And plenty of hunting, too.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 13, Turkey Techniques. Jerry Gardner, a well-accomplished turkey hunter, shows how to select an area to hunt, how to set up a blind, and many calls from the beginner to the most professional caller. This video shows 3 turkeys harvested using these techniques. So if you're in the mood for turkey hunting, Turkey Techniques is the video for you. Ask for Turkey Techniques at your local video store.
Now, Sam, we're over here on this other side of the creek here in this grass beds. I know this gets filled up with grass when the summer gets here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'll turn green, Arch, and all most of that stuff will be gone, and it'll be all pretty green. But over in those holes, those black crappie.
Yeah, all right, now what's your technique for, now you've already showed us how to rig this thing up. Boy, that's the slickest thing I ever seen right there, a weedless crappie jig. Of course, I know what the problem is when you get in these treetops and this grass.
On this grass, Arch, you got to get over in there and let it get down in there and let it go all the way to the bottom.
What are you talking about, 1.5 feet, 2 feet?
Yeah, but it's about 2 foot deep over there.
Okay.
Let it go to the bottom, watch your line stop,
okay,
and then just check it out there.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only way, so you can't do a hair jiggy that way.
Yeah, you'd be in trouble quick.
You'd be in a heap of trouble.
Just kind of just bring it right through that mess.
Yeah, and you'll feel that old big black and nail him.
Uh-huh. Now, is the afternoons better for these black ones over here?
A little bit later. We're about an hour early.
I see. Well, we can get a head start, can't we?
Oh, we'll go ahead and catch.
Can you rather be an hour early than an hour late?
We'll go ahead and get 75 ready before it gets too late.
Yeah, so before they really turn it on, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
There he is, Bubba.
There he is.
Oh, that's a
That's
big.
bass, ain't it?
It's a trash fish. No, it's a
that's
crappie.
That's a crappie, yeah. Right out of that
All
grass.
right, Bubba.
Look at that right there. Oh, that's a fine one right there. I thought you said it's going to be little when we got them over here.
That can go 3 pound, Arch.
Yeah, we'll go 3 pound. At least 2.
That's a good. Is that old green grub?
Yes, sir. He snugged it right in, didn't
Well, you can't fish tangled up, can
he?
you?
No, he got nervous. Now, see, I just fixed to throw out there right where you was at. We got it all tied up here where we get messed up.
I ain't used to fishing with celebrities, Arch. I'm so nervous now I can't stand it.
Ah, I bet you are. No, I'm fishing with the celebrity. What's your nickname now? Crappie Maynard?
Crappie Maynard.
Crappie Maynard.
The white-haired man.
The white-haired man. There you go.
All right, Arch, just get her nothing right in there.
You ever thought about taking a little pair of scissors and nipping off some of that pretty white hair and tie it on in? Well, I bet that'd make a good jig, don't you?
That white hair's got one fallback, Arch.
What's that?
Every time I go to the post office, you know, around the 1st of the month,
They won't give you a check.
I want to know if I got my check.
One of these days you're gonna take one of them checks.
I hope so. There he is, Arch.
Oh, wait a minute. Woo, look at that. I've been over there one that long. You see it? This thing will catch everything, won't it? Well, that's a good thing about this weedless part of it. You can just put this particular, where you got this little old squealer twister there, you can just put it right on in there, can't you?
Yeah, just let her go down in there.
Yeah, I got to get it.
Let him drop right in front of you.
I got you. Think that was just a little piece of limb that that was on.
Little limb, yeah. There's a little brushy pile right in front of them weeds there.
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. There it comes. Right, was he at the edge or inside the
He was
weeds?
over in the weeds, Arch.
Way over in there. Yeah, there you go. That's a white one there.
That's a white. I thought it was a black one,
Yeah,
didn't you?
well, he's coming up on the banks too, then, you know.
Yeah.
I guess them last 2 or 3 warming days is bringing him up there, don't you?
They're getting right, Archie.
Getting right. Where was he at?
He's right on top of that old pines. That old pine coming out from the bank over there.
Right over here?
Yeah, he's about middle ways out.
There you go.
There's a black one.
Yeah, it sure is.
I can go 2 1/4, won't he?
Oh, that's a white one that's colored black.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, look, see his vertical bars here?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can get a white crappie that looks black and a black crappie that looks white, but the bars, see him? If he was a black crappie, he'd be running this way, like this, like this, like this, like that. So you got a black
Black
white
white.
crappie.
You taught me something there. That's a good one, Arch.
He's around that limb. Look out, look out, look out. Hey, you see him unwrap himself at that? You need a net?
No, I think I can get it.
Easy.
All right.
Woo! Man, a live slam. Look at that belly on that thing. Oh, you just look at that
He's
belly.
ready, ain't he?
Man, he's getting ready to get up there and spawn, isn't he?
Oh, eat your heart out, Willard.
Oh, my goodness. Look at that pretty thing.
That's pretty.
Well, you know, a lot of folks didn't know there was that big a crappie in the Warrior River down here, but they plenty of crappies in here, ain't there?
It's the best fishing in the world.
Just ease in here, and you got to learn it, though. It's just like anywhere. You ain't going to go into a place that you don't know what you're doing.
You gotta know, Arch.
Because you've been coming down a long time now, haven't you?
25 years.
25 years. He was laying right in there in them stobs there, wasn't
Yeah, right in them little old weeds.
he? Well, I'll just be. That was fine doings there.
Our secret to this tree baiting is don't get here in this grass. You don't put it down in there.
Yeah.
Try to hunt you an old clean bank.
Well, they ain't nothing.
Well, it ain't nothing. No, about 8 to 10 foot deep
Uh-huh.
on the Warrior. And get out about a boat length and a half where it'd be easy to find. The farther you go out now, harder it is to find.
Uh-huh.
And a bigger top you need.
Uh-huh.
But that's your secret.
In other words, you want a barren bank
A barren bank.
because they ain't got nowhere to get. And then
Right.
whatever's on that bank will migrate on in there, won't
Right, and I call them crappie condominiums.
they? Crappie condominiums.
You got a bill for them.
I got you. I'm sitting here mucking with this run out line, and you out there catching them all out of them treetops.
Come in here,
Yeah.
boy.
Now, that ain't big as that last one, but it ain't no slouch, is it?
That's nice. He go what, 3/4?
Yeah, I'd go 3/4. Bring him on in. Look like it turned it on right here as it's getting toward later on in the evening.
And go 1.5 pounds, Arch.
Oh, that in there
Oh.
won't go over 3 fingers and about a quarter. Trying to put.
Look at that jig, Arch.
He swallowed it in good, didn't he?
Yeah. You don't
That's
think
good panfish there. They just seem to be kind of scattered right along the edge of this grass here, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it don't seem to be a concentration of.
certain little holes close to these points.
It's coming into here on this.
When they get right now, they'll be on every place.
Every one of these spots.
Yeah,
you get for the year.
Yeah, they'll stay here about a month.
With Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 12, Deer Hunting Techniques. Dr. Bob Shepard has taken over 370 deer while observing deer habits throughout each season. Bob demonstrates how to use map, wind direction, and feeding habits to predict just how a particular buck will use funnel areas to move from one plot of land to another. He also shows how to choose a tree for your stand and how to approach that tree with different wind directions. So ask for Deer Hunting Techniques at your local video store.
Well, Sam, that's some pretty good sized crappies down here on the Warrior River, and we've hit some pretty good spots. We ain't gonna quit fishing, but we're running out of light here.
All right.
So we're gonna just keep on. We already got a pretty good mess here, and we take them things home and clean them and have some good eating tonight. And I want you to know one thing. I appreciate you sharing your locations with me, and I'm sure our viewing audience appreciate you teaching us how to fish shallow with weedless jigs in all these brush tops as well as in the grass. And I'm looking forward to getting with you again and come and do some more crappie fishing.
All right, thank you, Archie. I'm glad to have you with me.
Okay, and y'all folks stay tuned again next week for some more Outdoors with Archie Phillips.
I like going hunting, just me, my hound, and my gun. Chasing them deer, rabbit, and squirrel, now that's my kind of fun. I like going fishing too, I'll go on any whim. Looking for the big bass, the crappie, and the brim. Give me a wide open field to walk through. Give me an ocean so deep. I wanna ride the longest river in the world, or maybe climb the highest mountain peak.
Folks, we're over at Logan Martin Lake, a little afternoon fishing with my good friend, fishing buddy Willard Isbell. I'm over around Leeds, and hey, Willard, this is one of your favorite lakes, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a little old white crappie there.
No, that's a black.
That's a black.
See them lines
yeah.
running long ways like that? Willard, what you got in store for us today? What kind of setup we gonna do on these crappies, and where we gonna fish at?
Well, we're gonna try to see if we can't find some of these big crappie in here. Now these blacks is moving in pretty close to the bank now.
And you was telling me coming up here that the black crappie, when the water warms on up, will come on up on the banks, right?
Yeah, they'll get right on the bank.
And the white ones won't.
Well, they'll get up there close, but they won't get like the blacks. A lot of times those blacks, they'll get in a foot of water. I've caught them in a foot of water. Just as soon as the jig hits the water, he'll get it.
All right, well, what kind of jigs are we mostly going to use today, or curly tails, or whatever we're going to do?
Yeah, we got these curly tails, and we got some of these little homemade jigs like I make, and I believe we're going to catch them maybe on both of them. I started off with one of these like I make here, but we ain't got two of these curly tails yet. When we get to them, they might just eat that thing up.
All right, well, now, you know, you called me, you told me you thought fishing's going to be good, and so we're going to get out. Is afternoon fishing better than morning fishing, or what's the story on that?
I was over here yesterday afternoon, and I did real well, and I thought that we might get enough to show these people, you know, what afternoon fishing is after work.
Okay, now, what are we mostly going to fish, rock structures or treetops?
Well, we're going to fish mostly treetops right now and stumps, you know, close to the bank, because this water's warming on up now. It's showing about 57 degrees. And if that thing gets on up there, you know, I'd say in the next few days, 62 to 65 degrees, I believe anybody can come over here and catch these fish.
Just using most anything, right?
Just whatever you throw in there on them.
Well, which one of your favorite lures you want me to start off on? I done had mine stuck on the bottom I started with. What you think we ought to start off with first? Well, I know you caught that one on that same thing you gave me, which is, what do you call it, strawberry jig?
Yeah, a little strawberry head. I'm using what I call the bee here.
The bee?
Yeah.
All right,
little
let's...
old black and yellow jig, and I think if you throw that one you got on there, I believe he'll hit that one.
Lord, this is it's kind of one. You just telling me that you use certain colors early in the morning, certain colors in the middle of the day, and certain colors on around. Is this a middle of the day jig right here?
Well, yeah, it's getting towards the afternoon here, and I think that one there, it'll work. If you get it in front of him, he'll grab it.
I see. All right. Well, what you want to do? You want to fish right in this place we just pulled up on, or?
Well, I found that little one in there. You know, he's got to have daddy in there somewhere.
I got you. Okay. Well, I'll just chunk in here a little while. Let's see what we can come up with.
All right.
Now, Willard, I noticed that you don't never like to fish straight into the bank.
Now, I like to come down on the ledges there. I like to come down it on an angle.
Uh-huh.
The reason for coming down on an angle like that is you cover more area, you know. If you throw it right straight in, you know, fish is 4 or 5 feet away. A crappie's not going to move that far after a bait. And by coming down at an angle there, you pull it right by one, you know. That's my theory on it.
Well, now, you know, you've caught an awful lot of fish up here in Longwood. You won quite a few tournaments too, haven't you, Willis?
Yeah, in the last 3 tournaments, I took first place in 2 of them and took big fish in the last one.
In the last one. So you covered it pretty good, didn't you?
Yeah, and the one that I took big fish in, I got 22.01 weight on that. At a lake that I've never fished before.
I see. Well, now, basically what you're saying about these crappies, you've got to present this lure close to him and make him want it, right?
Well, normally a crappie won't go up or down a foot after a bait unless he's already in pursuit of it. I mean, if he's not already after it, you drag it over 2 foot, he won't come after it.
He's just lazy on his feeding habits, ain't he?
You just about got to scratch his nose.
And that's why that your jig and curly tail system is works so good. You said that sometimes you use the curly tails and sometimes you use the jigs. How about telling me the difference in when you use what?
Well, when I like to use the curly tail, it's when those crappie get on the banks in the stumps.
I see.
Now, when they get in them stumps, I like a curly tail. I like fishing on these ledges here like this, I like a jig. Because I can slow that jig down slower than a curly tail.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 11, Deer. From a deer driving show with Robert Gardner to a most unique deer rattling show with Joel Davis, which shows you the territorial traits of deer. Lions Club Deer Drive gives you a good charity show with plenty of action. An afternoon deer drive with Robert Gardner is a fine deer show in Hardwood Bottoms. So ask for deer at your local video store or nearby sporting goods dealer.
Now, Willard, I've noticed you've got an unusual casting style. And I see you can throw that, now you're using a casting reel, and you can throw a casting reel further than most folks can throw an open-face spinning reel. And apparently you've developed a technique. I just wonder if you might share with us how you're able to take a casting reel with 14-pound test line on it and outcast a spinning reel man with 6 and 8 pound test.
Well, the only thing I can say is I think it's just from a lot of practice and determination. Because I found out with this casting reel, it's more sensitive than a spinning reel is. And whatever you can fish with, it's got a lot of sensitivity. You catch fish. Because I don't like a limber rod. I like my rod real stiff.
Even for crappie?
Right, for crappie. When he hits it, it's like a lot of people think I jerk too hard. But when I stick one, he comes to the boat.
I see. Well, what about show them how you're able to do this. Show us how you're able to just put something that you normally couldn't throw 10 or 15 feet with these little old white jigs onto it. That's the most astounding thing I've ever seen you do.
All right, this little jig right here, it weighs about a 1/32. Or maybe it's not more than a 16.
Uh-huh.
And I got a 14-pound test line here.
What I try to do,
I'm not throwing this jig. I'm just trying to like fly line this line. I'm lobbing the jig and just like fly lining it.
So you got a hybrid halfway between a cast and a fly fishing, right?
Right.
All right, show them one more time what happens now. You go way back and you point it, right?
Right.
Take a full arm's length to do that, don't you?
Yeah, I just come like kind of over my head there, and I'm just, wherever I want to throw it, I'm just pointing the rod that way.
Uh-huh. Well, it sure will go on out there.
It's paid off for me in the past, I guarantee it has. Putting that jig where you want it. If you can't put it where you want it, you can't catch fish.
I've noticed that when we fished before, Willard, my normal inclination when we pull up to one of these treetops is to fish in closer than you ever will put me. I feel like I ain't never reaching where the fish are. But you got a reason for that. And what is your reason for that, Willard?
Well, when you get in there real close like that, and especially fishing a treetop, if you get in real close on it, and you hang your worms, you know, and just shake it there, it's got a tendency to just scare the fish out of there for a while. And when you back here, if you can hang that limb and just take your hand and pull your line loose instead of just shaking that limb, they don't pay as much attention to it. But when you're sitting right over that treetop, they can see the shadow from this boat and they know something's wrong. That's my impression of it.
Willard's got some of the most unusual setups. I thought when you went crappie fishing, you just got you some curly tails or jigs and went on, but he's got them all sizes and styles and everything that he's got a reason for every one of them. And I'm going to let Willard lay them out and explain to you why he uses the different weights and sizes and where he uses them and the different types and colors of jigs and when and where he uses those.
Okay, I've got 3 different sizes right here. I got this is somewhere around a 32nd grub head. It just goes on up there to about an 1/8. And these real small ones I try to use in the treetops and stumps and whatever. And as the water gets deeper, you just step it up a notch, make it a little bit heavier. And I like to use these different color tails on it, these little curly tails here.
Uh-huh.
And I like different colors on the grub heads.
All right, now tell us when you'd want a red head.
Well, in the month of March and April, redhead's always good. I don't care if the water's clear, if it's muddy or what have you. They will hit a redhead jig.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the other hand, you can turn right around and put a black-headed jig on there, and they'll hit one of those. It's just according to the situation, what the fish wants at that time.
See? Well, you got 2 colors of curly tails you like.
Well, really, I like yellow, white, and this chartreuse color, and I like the chartreuse and the transparent green and also the sparkle green. When you got a nice sunshiny afternoon like we got now, I like this sparkly chartreuse.
Uh-huh. And Willard, on those 3 head sizes, I about figured this thing out because I fished with you so much, you've explained it to me. And this is something that's real hard for me to understand at first. Let's say there's a treetop out there that's 10 or 12 feet deep. And, you want to let that thing drop, so you'll have a tendency to use a little bit bigger jig and get it on down. But you're saying to me that you want a light jig so that it'll tiptoe through those jigs. Just kind of thump, thump, up and down. And whenever it hits a limb, you want to just ease it off if you can and let it fall, because that crappie's going to grab it, isn't it?
That's when he'll hit it.
I notice that a lot of times when you get hung, you just try to finesse that thing off, because usually you'll get one right there on the drop, isn't it?
Just as soon as it falls on the other side of the limb, he'll pop it if he's there.
All right. Well, I notice you got your tackle box and you got the neatest little arrangement for your jigs and the different colors. How about going over how you got them fixed for you? And of course, you make all your own jig heads and all to suit yourself, don't you?
That's right.
And you fix your jigs and all because you just, that's the way you want them, right?
That's the way I want them. When I look in that tackle box, I know what I'm looking for is there.
All right, well, show us, if you would, Willard, the different things you tie your jigs with and which color you like at certain times.
Like this jig right here, this is kind of a light orange jig here. It does real well on a sunny day like this. In fact, I may be throwing this one in a little bit here.
I see.
And you want to know about the packaging here. Well, what I do is I get me some of this polyethylene.
Uh-huh.
And I try to get it in about a 4 or 6 mil size. And when you roll that thing up, see, it makes that bag real stiff. And if I don't want to use this jig for, say, around a year from now, it's still preserved just like it is.
And you got a staple on each end, hey?
Staple it on each end, and I got it rolled tight, and it's in that bag tight. You can see how straight it is in there.
Uh-huh.
And 1 year from now, it'll look the same way.
I see. But what about your other colors? What's some of them others are your favorite colors?
Well, I got one of my favorites here, what I call the bee. This is a black and a yellow one.
Uh-huh.
All right. Then here's a marabou jig. This is a chartreuse green and marabou with a white head on it, which does real well. Got solid white with a yellow head on it. This is what I call the Crappie coat, which is like a maroon-like color, what I call it. But I call it a Crappie coat. They'll get on that one too. And you got this old standby, solid white with the marabou feathers on it.
And when do you use a solid white now?
A solid white is good anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime. It don't matter.
It's just a good all-around fish catching type lure.
A white jig always be in my box.
Now, you was telling me that on several trips this last week or two, you get in a treetop and just go to catching spotted bass out there like crazy on some of these jigs, right?
Them spots that jump on that jig just fast you throw it in there, and you can't catch crappie for them because they won't let the jig sink to the crappie.
In other words, they come after it. They're a pursuit fish, where crappie, you got to lay it on his dinner table, hey?
Yeah, you got to put it right in front of him. That bass, that spot, he'll come up there and get that jig for it and get down there.
Oh, yeah.
Well, hadn't you noticed in the past when we pull up to these tops, you know, about the first or second cast, you throw it in there, he'll grab that thing if he's in there.
Willard, there he is.
Yeah, you got right on that little old limb there. Man, I see a strawberry sticking out here.
Yeah, that's that whiting you just gave me after I watched you catch 3 or 4 on me. Yeah, come on up here, Crappie.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette. Like Volume 10, Rabbit Hunting. Rabbit hunting is a Southern tradition that will teach you good gun handling techniques. Melvin Stewart has a pack of beagles that will know how to keep those cottontails moving. So when you're in the mood for a fast-moving, action-packed adventure, ask for Outdoors with Archie Phillips Rabbit Hunting at your local video store or nearby sporting goods dealer.
Willard, you said it was right there in that tree top. What?
Yeah.
Now, that's kind of a little one there, Willard.
Yeah.
But he still done it, didn't he?
Yeah, that's good cooking sauce right there.
That's your yellow jacket you got on there.
Yeah, that's a bumblebee.
Bumblebee, I mean, yellow jacket. What they about to say?
That's that little black, too.
Sure is. He was right in there, wasn't he?
Yep. Look what he done to my jig.
Push that hair slap up the... Now, when they hit like that, that's the way you always know, isn't it, Willard?
Yeah. He'll do it that way when he hits and you miss him.
Uh-huh.
But you know that one there, he's got somebody that brought him in this world down there, and that's the one I'm be wanting.
I got you.
Get that plug straightened out there. See if we can get one of them big ones on there.
That's what we're after.
Uh-oh. I got away from the tree. Maybe there's one over there, though.
Got a double. Mine ain't all that big, I don't
Mine's
think.
pretty good in here.
Now, mine's one of them, just a small one there.
I got.
Yeah, you got me beat on that.
I got the one you
Yeah,
want there.
you got the one. I got hung, Willard, and dropped him right over the side there, you know.
Yeah.
As soon as it come off that limb, that there nailed it. I mean, nailed it.
Man, these is all black crappie, aren't you?
Every one of them are.
Every one of them. That's nice cooking crappie there.
You're going to drop one across one of them limbs in a minute. One of them Mama Roos gonna get you.
Oh, yeah, we get this with Mama.
We'll kind of get warmed up on these little ones.
Yeah, let's just break them monotony.
There you go.
But they mess these jigs up. I mean, something awful. They really want them, you know.
How about pass me another one of them curly tails? The one done eat this one about up down
All
here.
right, what color you want?
Well, I've done pretty good on that old chartreuse one.
All right, let me get you one.
Right where you said you would.
Right in between them trees there.
I tell you, that fancy throwing deal you got about 15 yards on me, Willard.
That's pretty good crappie. Yeah.
Now, he was on out a little further, though, wasn't he?
No, he was right in there, right where the limb crosses. That's another black, aren't you?
Yeah, but I can't get that far.
I'll probably have to pull you a little closer.
Might have
See,
to.
them just good hand-sized crappie.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that'd stink up the skillet good, won't it?
Yeah, I believe we can do that with a
I
biscuit.
guarantee you. That seems like a pretty hot little old tree right there.
Yeah, there's one or two on there now.
Outdoors with Archie Phillips is now available on video cassette, like Volume 9, Saltwater. From king mackerel fishing with Jim McDonald to amberjack with Tommy Browning, red snapper with Jim McDonald gives you an excellent game show, and redfish at Apalachicola gives you red fishing like you've never seen it before. So ask for Outdoors with Archie Phillips, Volume 9, Saltwater at your local video store or contact your sporting goods dealer.
Willard, we've had a pretty good day of crappie fishing. Now, that ain't no bad bunch of crappies right there. Let's just pitch them right up here on the... Yeah. Yeah, that's some good doings there. We got several pretty good ones in there. We got some little ones, but we got several pretty nice ones in there. Look at that old devil right there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good in there. That's a nice string. Look at that one right there. That's a fine one.
Yeah.
We've got about, what would you say, 4 or 5 over 2? Pound and 3/4 to 2? That's a big one right there. Look at that big devil right there. Look at that. That's some fine doings. Well, I've enjoyed every minute of it, and we go get us some ice and get them things iced down and take them home, clean them up. We'll have some good eating tonight. And want all you folks to know I've been fishing with a champ from down here at Logan Martin, and he's always been able to take us out there and take you folks along with him and give you those special little tips and hints that makes for good fishing on any place you go to do crappie. And this method will work about most anywhere, won't it, Willard?
Yeah, you can catch them pretty well same way, just about anywhere you go.
Good. Well, listen, I've enjoyed it, and y'all folks stay tuned again next